Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. I'm glad everybody's here. Make sure you put your prayer request in the bottom. This came in a little earlier. This was covert intel. U.S., U.K., Poland was going to, this was coming out of special forces maybe heading into Ukraine. It says U.S., U.K., Poland special forces are reportedly preparing a large-scale airstrike in Russia near supply lines. Breach of Sarvakan line. The counselor of Zelensky, we will take 2 million Crimeans hostage. Kiev is assembling squadrons of helicopters to carry out a large-scale airdrop deep into the Russian rear. The attack will allegedly involve special forces from U.S., Britain, Poland, who will try to break through the Sarvakan line. This information is also confirmed by a former intel colleague in Ankara, Turkey. It remains to be seen when the attack will take place. The Turks also stressed that the operation to breach the line will involve not only special forces of armed forces of Ukraine, but also special forces of U.S., Poland, and Britain. And it is these countries that are instant on occupying endeavor at any cost. Kiev wants to keep 2 million Crimean residents hostage. The former advisor of the head of the House of President of Ukraine revealed that the plans for Crimea. It's an interview with the journalist Yulia. He said that the head of the armed forces of Ukraine, Valery Zhao something, is now solving two problems: access to the sea and cutting off the land corridor to Crimea. After that, he added that 2 million Crimean citizens will be held hostage without water and food, and then Russian leadership can negotiate. Zazuni solves two problems: access to the sea and cutting off the land corridor, cutting off Crimea, demolishing the bridge, and that's that. So that's their plan right now, as we speak, is to cut off Crimea, which that has been their thing. Now, there's also been some intel tonight late that they have broken the lines in a couple of places. So that's there also, so I'm keeping an eye on that. If you haven't watched Kim's videos today, you might want to watch that because it involves Russia. Kim Fisher. And she had a spot there on her video where everybody's blaming me because I called her. But the thing was, it sounds like doves in a lot of places there when it cuts out and goes into it. And the thing is, her first vision that she had was doves. And it's just funny, that's what that sounds like. If you sit and listen to the sound when her phone cuts out and makes that noise, it sounds like doves. Because I actually downloaded a video of doves, and they make a certain sound. It's almost exactly the same sound that you hear on her phone that cuts in at the end of that video. So keep that in mind. Also, Brother Patrick did another video tonight. Check that out. Brother Patrick, we're sorry about Moses passing on you today. We send our prayers to you, and we love you, brother. He lost his dog today, passed on. So definitely keep him in your prayers. Brother Patrick's the one that has found another Revelation 12 sign to come up in September. He did a great job on that. Let's see what else we've got here. I want to go over this. This came out earlier. Digital Service Act, a framework to gain global control of the internet. And I thought this was important also that we're going to go over here in a minute. I fought with this thing. I've had no power. The power's finally come on, and I've had a problem setting my system back up. This mic, I'm about to throw it in the garbage. Every time I'm fighting with this thing, it's got an echo to it, and I can't get it off there. Every time the power goes off, resets this whole system, I have to fight with it for an hour. So I said, you know what, heck with it, I'm going back to the phone. I'm not going to sit and fight an hour every time I'm going to do a video. But this PMW thing is very interesting. Let's see, I'm going to see if I've forgotten anything, first of all, because there's so much going on right now here at my news desk. That's what I'm going to start calling it. There's a lot of news also about the East Coast and us being on it, about the grid down and state of emergency, stuff like that. There's people getting stuff on their phones. Kim Fisher's got this 2 or 3 times. So there's a lot going on with people getting messages, okay? Now, My goodness. I mean, it's like I can't keep up with the news. It's just ridiculous. Now, here's something came out, and I've already missed this. Okay. Whew, unbelievable. They found some kind of explosive device in Miami tonight, by the way. That was big. I don't know if they ever figured that out. Make sure I'm going over everything to make sure that I'm trying to cover everything. There's so much going on in Israel too. Today, Israel gets a notice from the White House because Ben decided to make another appearance on the Temple Mount, which had a fox on it, by the way, yesterday. Can't make this stuff up. A fox showed up right on the Temple Mount. Now today, Ben shows up again, and people do not like Ben, and Washington definitely don't like him. I think he might be his security advisor, I don't know, but he goes up there to the Temple Mount, and the White House told him not to ever do that again, and I'm like, okay, who are you to tell anybody in Israel what to do? Our government thinks they control the world. I don't know where they get this junk at, but they think they can tell everybody in the world where to move, what to do, what to believe. And it's getting ridiculous. Our government has become the biggest, oh my goodness. When you call another nation and tell them not to go visit a place on their land, let me tell you something, people. There is a problem. People better wake up in this country. That's why this country is not mentioned. That's why it's not mentioned in Revelation. Because it will not exist. Because God is going to destroy it. Doing stuff like that, let me tell you something. Bill's like, well, God's going to protect. No, he's not protecting this nation. This nation's already made its choice. It's made its choice. It wants to kill babies. It wants to do this. It wants to do that. It may create a whole Pride Month. This country made its choice, and it's going down. It's going down in the hole. No politician's going to save it. I don't care what party you're from. Only Jesus now, honey, because they've had their chance. It's over. Our time here is over. We're leaving. And the ones that are left, there ain't going to be much of this thing left for them to want to have it. Okay? Bottom line, everybody thinks that this country is going to be improved in 2024. Honey, this country won't exist in 2024 the way it's going. And I don't highly think it's going to be here in the first place. I think what's going to be left of it is in shambles. With everything we've seen and everything God's warned us about, let me tell you something. You better quit putting your faith in man and put it in Jesus, because the world's coming to an end. And if you don't see that, I'm going to tell you, you're asleep, because God has had enough. And let me tell you something, that's why he's warned us all. He's gave us dreams and visions and everything else, letting everybody know that, hey, I'm coming. Get ready. Now, this DSA, Digital Service Act, says frameworks for a control are being put up all over the world. Daisy wrote recently about the implement of FedNow, a framework for ending financial freedom and privacy as we know it. A few months ago, we wrote about the WHO Pandemic Treaty, which is signed by all parties, will be put in place in a framework for global health mandates. And Europe will shortly begin enforcing its Digital Service Act, which will put a framework for intense control on online speech. When people see current systems failing, they are almost likely to begin bigger changes. As Daisy noted, with FedNow was announced in March, it comes on the heels of a large bank failures, which they're planning. Likewise, many people now recognize that the worldwide response to CV was a total fiasco. The WHO is trying to use this as an excuse to centralize control. The causes behind both of the bank failures, events surrounding CV, are slightly debatable. People worldwide have been discussing these issues for years. Europeans may lose their ability to even complain about their current events. Europe's Digital Service Act, DSA, is coming online in August. August, people, August. The DSA aims to curtail illegal online activity and restrict targeted advertising. The largest companies, those of the 45 million European users, will face fines up to 6% of their annual turnover if they fail to comply with the new rules. And you don't think the mark of the beast is here yet. People, buckle up. She's coming. They will have to be transparent about how they moderate content, advertise, and use these processes. Hosting services and domain registers are now responsible for reporting criminal offenses to the authorities and cooperating with natural law enforcement. What does this mean? It means in Europe, starting next month, you cannot have a website without them policing it. If you put anything on there against their system, they will fine you. That starts next month, in all Europe. All Europe, people. Digital Service Act. There you go. We got Fed now. We got the BRICS block going to digital next month. All these things rolling out right before the 7-year covenant that they're going to work on in September. If you can't see what's happening, there's an issue. Because let me tell you something. They're taking over everything. You're not going to be able to buy. You're not going to be able to sell. You're not going to have you're not going to have no free speech. That's going to be gone in a couple months. It's going to be gone. And they're doing that in America too. They're working their hardest to control everything going in and out. It's coming. That's why the rapture's imminent, and that's why we're leaving. What we do here is give you all the things that's coming to pass. You'll never see that DSA, Digital Service Act, in the media. You're not going to see it on Fox. You're not going to see it on MSNBC. They're not going to talk about this 7-year covenant. None of it. People's like, well, I don't see it. It's not on CNN. It's not on MSNBC. It must not be true. See, that's the problem. People think that these media services are there for them, and they're not. They're owned by the governments. Okay? They can't talk about anything unless they let them talk about it. That's why Satan is running ramshot all over the world. He controls all the media, the newspapers, the radio stations. He's got it all. The only thing he doesn't have is people, individuals like us, and the watchwomen and watchmen around the world getting on YouTube. But once they knock us out, that's it. You're not going to get any more independent news. People, I was in radio and media for almost 20 years of my life. I've never seen it like this. They're putting a lockdown on everything that's free media. It's coming. Now, what did Jesus tell us when all these events, the sun, the stars, the moon, all these things happening, the sun erupting, things hitting the moon, things here down here, all these things correlating in one time. What does God say? Look up. The redemption runneth nigh. He knew we would see all this stuff. It was like, well, this is all it. No, it ain't. It has not. There has not been a lockdown like this on all free speech ever in the history of man as it is right now. And it's coming fast. And people that are asleep won't see it coming because they're going to wake up one day and they can't speak. And they're not even going to know what hit them. And there's going to be nuclear bombs flying over top of their head. And they're not even going to have a clue. These people today, I see them in a grocery store, they don't even know why is everybody buying rice for? Oblivious to everything going on around the world. And you can't make the stuff up. But let me tell you something. There's been a run on rice all day. I've been finding all kinds of independent. It's not going to be in the big media. They won't cover it. You can forget that. They're garbage. They're as worthless as toilet paper in the toilet. I mean, literally. These people are just useless. I don't even know why there's a Fox in all of them. They're absolutely useless. But literally, there's been runs all over North America, Canada, and other places, people buying up all the rice. Because 40% of the rice that's sent around the world is from India. And they've cut it off permanently. It's gone. Russia's took out the grain, and they're still bombing Ukraine's grain, which provides a ton of grain to the world. And China has bought up the rest of it. So where's America and everybody else going to get their grain? Because we ain't producing it either. And the Bidens just passed a bill to cut out all farming in America. Look it up, people. They're doing this behind your back as they tell you, look over there. Trump's got another thing against him. Oh, look over there. There's this. Look over there. There's that. They've got everybody going in circles, and people are buying right into it. Look over here. Look over there. Look over here. Look over there. While they're taking away your food, and your freedoms. And they don't even see it coming. And that goes for both parties. Both parties looking every which way but the right way. I'll tell you what the right way is. We're leaving. The rapture is coming, and it's coming very... I'm going to tell you something. It's like a bowling ball, and it's coming. All these digital services are all coming to pass. They're all getting ready to be implemented, where they can control everything you say. Every dollar that you have will be theirs. Everything you buy, everything you sell, and the people won't even know what hit them. That's what's happening right now as we speak. Tell you not to fear, because we're leaving, because Jesus is near. Like I've said it, and I've preached it, and I've screamed it to the top of my lungs. These things keep rolling out day by day, more and more and more and more. And people's like, I don't see nothing happening, Chris. I don't see it. It's because you're not looking. That's why. You know, people they're too busy worried about what's on TikTok. Oh, what's the baseball scores? What's going on in sports? What's going on with these celebrities? They're worried about everything but their souls. And let me tell you something. If you're lost out there, you better call upon Jesus very soon. Very soon. Because this right here, I'm telling you, it's a roller coaster and it is out of control. Because the world is on fire. Literally, all of Canada's on fire. Half of Greece is on fire. People has lost all their homes and stuff. And across the world is on fire. And people here in America are worried about the dumbest things I've ever heard of in my life. I won't even talk about it. But the whole world is literally on fire. Hottest temperatures ever. Greece is on fire. Other countries are on fire. Canada is all on fire. And people's like, Chris, I don't see nothing happening, son. I think we're going to be here another 100 years. There ain't going to be nothing here in 100 years. It's going to be dirt. The way things are going right now, because it's all going to be burnt to the ground. But you can't tell these people. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. The most prideful people in the history of this earth is on this earth at this moment. Can't tell them anything. They know everything, and they know nothing. Zilch. My cat has more intelligence. I mean, literally, it's that bad right now. You can't talk to people at all. Just like in the days of Noah, he told them, the rain's coming, the rain's coming, the rain's coming. Oh, yeah, rain's coming, that's right. We hear you, old Noah. Same thing now. We're telling everybody the World War III is around the corner. Oh, yeah, okay, Chris. Russia don't have the guts a lot. People, this ain't Russia, this ain't America, this ain't Ukraine. This is principalities. This is the Antichrist spirit. And that's the thing. Everybody puts this on the world, that it's about the world. That's because nobody knows the Bible. They don't know the scripture. They don't care. They go about their lives on TikTok, Facebook, take their selfies, go to the store, go to Starbucks. That's all they care about. They can do all this stuff, but they can't read the scripture. They don't want to. It's not worth their time. And that's why we're in the shape we're in. And that's why the world's falling apart and nobody sees it. Can I get an amen? But let me tell you something. If you're lost out there, you call upon Jesus right now. You call upon him. Because he's coming. You believe that he died upon that cross and you put your faith in Jesus. And Jesus alone. Jesus alone. You put your faith all in him. His blood is the only way we're in. He rose on the third day. Let me tell you something. You put everything you have in him right now, brothers and sisters. And you tell everyone else to do that. Because let me tell you something. This world is falling apart faster and faster, day by day, hour by hour. We're leaving. You people can believe it or not, but it is happening. I love each and every one of you. If I don't see or hear from you again, I'll see you in heaven.